look at specifically from the defensive side? I want to figure out what went wrong on that defensive side. What do you
Uh,
look at? What did you see?
well, this year, I thought they had, some great pieces added in. Being the rookie class coming in, a couple, young defensive backs who ended up playing a lot. I think Drew Phillips was probably the steal of the draft, and I'm talking about from all teams. The kid played outstanding this year. He brought a
Physical.
certain edge, right? He brought a certain physical edge that we saw. Remember when Detroit came up and you
Hmm.
saw the practices? He was involved in every fight.
Yeah.
And you're not used to seeing that. And I'm talking about with Amon-Ross St. Brown, who
Right.
is, the most physical receiver, one of the most physical receivers in the league. And they have that type of attitude with Dan Campbell. Drew Phillips didn't care about none of that shit. He was all up in his face. He brought that edge, right? Brian Burns, well, I think one of the better offseason additions to the Giants, a guy that remained consistent the whole year. We never had that three-sack game output that we kind of were anticipating at one point. But I thought he was a great addition for the New York Giants. Uh, Dexter Lawrence, the first half of the season, I think he was the defensive MVP of the year. He
Hmm.
had 9 sacks. He still had 9 sacks at the end of the year, but at one point he had 9 sacks, was leading the league. I don't know, it was week 8, week
From the
9, it was
nose
something like
tackle
that.
position mostly.
From the nose,
Yeah.
bro. You know how difficult that is, but importantly, you know how difficult that is for an offense to go against, where the space right in front of your best player, which is the quarterback, is always occupied by a 350-pound behemoth that cannot be blocked one-on-one because he's a disruptor. And with all of those things being said, and yeah, you have other pieces there, right? But and I love Bobby and I love Micah McFadden, the two linebackers. I thought that they were going to be better against the run. That for me was the most difficult thing to process throughout this year when, the Giants at one point were 2-4. They were leading the league in sacks, but they were giving up like 140, 150 yards rushing a game. As a
Yeah, I was just
defender,
popping that
when
up. 27th in the NFL, 136.2 rushing yards per game.